Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi, because it's got nothing to do with intelligence. It's got to do with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wins from you of goodness. مَن يُرِدْ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا يُفَقِّهْهُ فِي الدِّينِ. Anyone who wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala good for, He will teach him of the religion. Therefore, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has will for you good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open up the doors for goodness. But this basically starts off from the servant himself. He needs to rectify his intention, remove any sins if there are any impediments in that regard as well, and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with acts of worship. If a person does these, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will teach that person. It's got nothing to do with how naturally capable you are or not. This is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in His servants, puts in the hearts of His servants. I'll give you an example. Look at the Quraysh, for example. The Quraysh, they were living a life of complete foolishness, worshipping idols, worshipping, things that could not benefit them or harm them. And if you look at the description of their lives in Jahiliyyah, it was absolutely ignorance, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls it. Complete, just nonsensical the way they were living their lives. Those people were not considered as being highly intelligent. In fact, most of them were illiterate. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them the best of people, the companions. Of course, we're not negating the fact that your natural capability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you has an impact in it. Of course, it's common sense. If you are able to understand something because what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in you of intelligence, that is obviously going to be a factor, but it's not the main factor. So if you feel that you're not learning, then maybe you need to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with tawbah and istighfar, and increase in worshipping Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and be more productive in those things that He is pleased with. If it's something that you won't understand, then you won't understand. Maybe you might not understand it right away. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, he said it took him 8 years to understand inheritance. Imam Ahmad, Imam Jalil, one of the ulama of Ahl Sunnah, took him 8 years. Umar radiallahu anhu himself, he studied Surah Al-Baqarah in 8 years as well. And when he finished its study, he sacrificed the camel out of thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, another piece of advice is that don't be hasty just because you don't understand something right now. It doesn't mean that you will never understand it. So, there are a number of things of benefit from the question that you have asked here. Barakallahu fiki. But I would say one of the biggest things is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-alim, and He gives ilm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hadi, and He gives hidayah. And that is essentially what it is. Besides that, وَجَعَلَكُمْ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took us from the wombs of our mothers. لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. We did not know anything, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying He gave you the ability to hear and see, and the ability to understand, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that you will be people of shukr. How do you give shukr? In obedience to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, the more you have obedience to Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will want for you goodness, and if He wants for you goodness, He gives you fiqh of the religion. That's the biggest factor. And if there are other things in the kawn that you can change, such as your intelligence, such as your ability to understand, such as your ability to be patient, such as your ability to revise and reread and listen and come from different perspectives of knowledge and different angles and try different things, then that is also something which is there. So I think is matching up the shara and the kawn, and I think the main thing here is that you focus on the qadr Allah al-shari'i. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us all beneficial knowledge and tawfiq. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.